Hi, everybody. This is Virginia Milner for the DeKalb County Library System, and I wanted to do something special for Juneteenth. So we're going to be making this really, really easy to make open collar choker that I'm wearing. And I'm going to take it off so that you can get a closer look. It's very easy to make. You don't have to worry about fitting or anything like that because it's memory wire. And then we're going to make our own wire wrapped dangles to go with it. Very easy, a lot of fun, very colorful, and I love it. I think it's very pretty. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, this one I used all wooden beads, but for the tutorial that we're going to do today, I'm going to actually incorporate some um, uh, trade beads, some African trade beads in there. I just wanted to add something else into the mix. So let's get this party started because I am looking forward to it. The tools that you'll need today are your traditional round nose pliers, your square or flat nose pliers, your regular cutters. And for this, because we're using memory wire, you'll also need a pair of memory wire cutters. I've heard people say, well, I have these old cutters that I can use, which is fine. The only problem is memory wire is so tough. I mean, it's tempered steel. So what's going to happen is over time, it's going to put little grooves in your cutter and you don't want to ruin it. So I really do recommend getting a memory wire cutter. I did not do that in the beginning when I first started working with memory wire because I said, I'm not spending 15 or 20 bucks for something when I don't need to. Well, not only did I end up not having to buy the memory wire cutters, I had to replace my other cutters. So because they were ruined over time. So it's better and it's so much easier to cut with these. So those are the tools that you're going to need. You're also going to need some necklace sized memory wire. And do we need a ruler today? Not really, we don't need a ruler because we're just kind of stringing the beads on until we get to our dangle. So let's get started on our project. We get you down here to the camera where you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to start with the memory wire. And what I want to tell you about when you cut this, don't cut it just in a loop. You want to give yourself some overlap. I would give myself at least about 4 inches of overlap, simply because when you start putting the beads on, it's going to open up some. The beads are going to cause it to open up. And when you put it around your neck, depending on the size of your neck, it could also open it up. So you want to make sure that you have enough so that and you also need to make the loops at the ends. So you want to have enough so that when it opens, you can still have enough for it to meet. And you don't have to close this completely up. I've seen some that are very open and it's really pretty, that they're just kind of, this is open on the side and you have these hanging down. You can have these hanging down like that. You can have another one over here if you wanted to add a second set of beads, maybe one over here and a nice dangle down there. It's your design. This is the way I'm doing it because I thought it was really, really neat and I just like it. I like something that's a little, excuse me, not symmetrical, just because I think it makes it interesting, gives it more of a statement feel. Okay, so anyway, let's get started. I have just a repeating pattern. I'm using the Black History Month or Black History colors of yellow, green, red, and black. And I'm just going to repeat that throughout the circumference of my memory wire, and then also in my dangle, and add some trade beads in there for additional color. So let's go ahead and get started. I've cut my ring of memory wire. I've given myself a good 4 inches of overlap on the ends. And now I need to make my loop. So the first thing I need to do is grab my round nose pliers. And memory wire is very, not tough, but it is not as easy to manipulate as regular artistic wire. Oh, that's the other thing. You're gonna need some wire. You can use jump rings, but I wanted to wrap some of mine and put some decoration on the bottom. But if you want, you can just use head pins and not do any decorative anything. But I wanted to use artistic, or you can use craft wire, 20 gauge, 22 gauge. Either one of those gauges is fine. But I wanted to use those to make my links. So first thing I'm going to do is make a loop on the end of my memory wire. So I'm going to slide my wire down about 1/3 of the way down my pliers. Doesn't have to be a large loop because it's going to be the one that's over here. It doesn't have anything dangling on it. Excuse my voice, I'm losing my voice. It doesn't have anything dangling on it, so it doesn't have to be very large, just large enough so that your beads won't slide off. So I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way down my pliers, grab the end of my wire and start and grip and start to make a loop. And again, this is tempered steel. So you're going to have to put some elbow grease into it. Actually, put your wrist into it. So I like to hold it with my thumb and my forefinger and really work it and just do it in small circles, the small increments until I get a full circle. See that, all that turning? And I'm only halfway around. So let's just put that back in there and keep going. Nice grip on my memory wire until I have a closed loop, like so. Okay. And then I'm going to start to put my beads on. Now, the pattern that I came up with was I'm using these black flat kind, they're kind of like rondelles. Yeah, they're rat rondelles. And I'm also using these oblong shaped or rectangular shaped wooden beads. And for my dangles, I'm using round wooden beads and oval shaped wooden beads. Okay. All right, so I'm starting with 8 of my black rondelles and 1 color of my rectangle beads, and then 8 more rondelles and another color of my rectangular beads. You can do whatever pattern you like, but this is just the pattern that I came up with. I kind of drew it up. What did I do with my drawing? I'm a terrible artist, but I kind of drew this up. I drew a couple of possibilities. I drew a couple of possibilities and drew this one up, and lo and behold, it looks almost just like it. It really came out nicely. So anyway, so let's start with my first 8 beads. My first 8 black beads here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to start with a red one. Okay, I'm going to do 8 more black beads. Some more beads here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know this is boring listening to me count. 7, 8, and What color do I want next? Let's go with green. And 8 more black beads. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and what do we need? And a yellow bead, and 8 more black beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to go back to the red bead. So red, green, yellow, red, green, yellow. I'm going to finish putting the rest of these on off camera so that you don't have to sit here and listen to me count anymore. And then I will come back when it's time to put my dangle on the other end. Be right back. If I can find the pause button. Okay, so we're all finished. I'm finished with the memory wire portion of my necklace. And see how I said that it will open up a little bit, especially when I have some beads that are slightly elongated. They cause the wire to open and spread. So this is perfect. This is the perfect width, distance apart that I wanted it to be. So that came out very, very nicely. Now, if it comes out longer, you can always cut off what you don't want. But this, I didn't have to cut any off. A tiny little bit, but not much. But this is about a 3/4 of an inch gap. And that's what I wanted to accommodate my, so that when I have my dangles, they're not bumping into this side. Okay, so now let's make our dangles. And it's just, you can decide how you want it to be. I wanted it to kind of cascade, so I'm going to start on the outside. This is the bigger ring. I made this ring a little bigger. I'm going to start on the inside next to the beads, and I'm going to make a shorter one and then slightly longer, and then longer on the end. So this one I'm going to put on, get some beads here. I'm going to start with green. And that dangle. And then I'm going to use a couple, actually, I'm going to use a couple of these trade beads to start. And that's going to start my first dangle. And then we're going to go a little longer and a little longer. And actually I have, no, let me go ahead and put this one together. So what I'm going to do, you can use eye pins, or you can make your own dangles, which is what I'm going to do. Very simple to do. 20 gauge wire. I just need to cut, this doesn't need very much, about 1.25 inches. And I can use my regular cutters for that. Make a simple loop. So I'm going to grab my wire right on the tip. I don't want any of it sticking out the back. Slide it down about a little less than 1/3 of the way down. My pliers and all pliers are not created equal. So I don't need a very large loop for this. You just need to make a determination based on what you're seeing on the side of your pliers as to how big you want your loop to be. And once you get used to using your pliers, you'll know about how far down to go to get the size loop that you want. So I'm going to go about a little less than a third of the way down my pliers, and I'm going to start turning, open, and just keep turning in small increments until I have a closed loop. Like so. Now I'm going to bend that back a little bit so that, see how the loop is on the side? I want it to be on the top. So I'm going to put the tip of my pliers in my loop, and I'm going to bend it back away from where the loop is so that now my loop is on top. A little bit more of a bend, just a tiny bit more. And there we go. Neat, huh? Can you see that? Yeah, here we go. And now I'm going to start with this little teeny tiny trade bead. Do I want to add another one? Yeah, I'll get this kind of goldish colored one and the striped one. That's pretty. I like that. Yeah, I like that color combination. And just make another loop, cut it off down to about 1/2 inch, give myself a good 1/2 inch. And what you want to do is make sure that when you cut it, that you're holding the end of it away from you, or either that or you turn it down into a cup or something so that it doesn't fly off into the atmosphere and cause problems later. Okay, so cut that off. There we go. And again, we're making a loop, just a small loop on top. Roll that back a little bit. Close it up. And there we go. There's my loop. There. Okay, so now I'm going to attach that to my next link, which is my green series. And I'm going to grab some wire. And if you want to know approximately how much you need, you can measure the distance of your beads by just putting them on the wire. And I try to give myself, since I'm going to wrap my wire, these wires, I made simple loops, but the ones on the bottom, I'm going to decorate. So I need to use my wires so I can make some nice spirals at the bottom. So what I need at the top in order to wrap it, give yourself a good 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, depending on how many wraps you want to put on it. And on one end, on the other end, I'm going to give myself a good 1.5 inches and make a spiral. Okay, so this is where I'm going to go for my top loop. I'm going to bend it back at a right angle, like so. Take my pliers down about 1/3 of the way again. Take the end of my wire and loop it over my pliers. Just wrap it over until it's hanging down the side with the long end. And then bring that tail back under the pliers until I have a full loop. And now I'm going to wrap my loop. So I'm going to either grab it, and you can either put your pliers back in and wrap it that way, or you can hold it on the side and wrap. I'm going to wrap it with it inside the loop. And just wrap that tail around a couple of times. There we go. And I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to go ahead and finish wrapping. I think I'm going to wrap a little bit more. I have a nice long tail there, and I hate to waste the wire, so I'm going to go ahead and just give it another wrap. It's really short, so I need to use my pliers to do it. And then just push the ends down. You don't want those edges sticking up, just waiting to scratch you or catch on something. Okay, now I'm ready to do the other side. So I'm going to give myself a good 1.5 inches or so, and you can measure it or eyeball it. Up to you. And it depends on how big you want your spiral to be. I don't need it to be too large. Okay. So I'm going to grab the tip of my wire with the tip of my pliers. Again, I don't want any wire sticking out the back. I'm going to make a tiny loop. Like so. And then I'm going to continue to wrap the wire around itself. And I want it to be an open spiral. It doesn't have to be a tight one. I want it to look a little more organic. I'm going to make a nice open spiral for the bottom. See how my loops are not touching the sides. I can get to one point and I can just take my flat pliers, grab the side, and just continue to wrap. Again, I don't want it to be tight. I don't want mine tight. I just want to wrap around itself, keeping the edges a distance away. So I can have a nice open spiral. And if you want to, you can also use your fingers. You don't have to use pliers for this. This wire is very malleable and easy to manipulate. Then I'm going to bend it back like so, so that when I finish, my spiral will be just underneath the bead. And there we go. Here's my spiral. Here's my first link. Okay. And that's going to attach on this one. So let's put those together. Actually, I want to show you because I've already done the other links. Cheater, cheater. I didn't want this to be so long that you couldn't stand it. So here are my other links. This is going to be my second row. And my third row. Turn that this way. Yeah. Go like that. Let's flip that around. There we go. And again, you design it the way you want it. I think I'll flip it. Have the big one on top just for something different. And there. So there are going to be my 3 rows of my cascading beads, my cascading dangle. Neat, huh? Okay, let's put it all together. All right. So what I need to do is attach these to my memory wire. I'm just going to open up my loop. And the way I'm going to do that is just open it on the side. So here's my opening. I don't want to pull it apart. I just want to flip it open like I would do a jump ring. Slide it on and close it back up. Okay, so there's my first link. Get over there. And this is attaching to that. So open up my ring. Where's my opening? There it is on that side. Attach my first link. And my second link, I guess I should say. The bottom of my first dangle. Close it up, make sure my links are closed. There we go. And there's my first dangle. Okay, let's move on to the second one. And this one's going to have, the 3. So you go over there. You go over here. This is the second one. Yeah. So this time, instead of having to fight with that, I think I'm going to put these all together first and then attach them to the ring. And you decide which works better for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just whichever makes you more comfortable. So I'm going to attach all of my dangle components. Do I want that this one? Yeah. So I'm going to flip this one that way. Yeah. The green on top, and this one has the green on the bottom. Okay, and that's going to go here, up here. Okay. Again, I'm going to open my ring, just flip it up, slide it on, slide one ring inside the other. And close. Okay, and I'm going to attach that to my memory wire loop. Find my opening, where is it? I've got this so beautifully closed, I can't even find the opening. There you are. Slide that ring inside my memory wire loop, Close it up. Make sure it's nice and closed. And there's my second row. Looking good. This is nice. This is going to be longer than the other one. The dangle's going to be longer. Make sure that's closed. It looks, I like to put my fingernail in there. If I can get my fingernail in, or you can use a piece of paper. If you can slide a piece of paper in, you don't even want that much space. Want it to be buffeted up against the back of the other wire. So it's nice and closed. Okay, so there's that second one. And let's put these together. Again, flipping that open like the little top. Attach my second set of trade beads. Close that up. Nice and tight. Open up my second ring. Where's the opening? I think it's on this side. Good. Open. And slide my closed ring inside my open ring. And close. Close that up. Check my opening. Yeah, it's closed. Okay. And last but not least, let's check. Let's attach this second to the bottom ring to my bottom piece. Close ring inside of the open ring. Close up the open ring. And we're ready to attach to my memory wire. Okay, where's my opening? There you are. Open it up. Slide it onto the memory wire loop beside the other two. Last one. Close it up. Make sure it's closed. Nice and tight. Is there anything that can get in there or out of there? That is the question. How are we doing? See a little tiny bit of a split. So let's push that together. Check it out again. Looking good. And there, ladies and gents, is our piece. There it is. Isn't that lovely? I just love it. Ta-da! Yay! Juneteenth! Yay, 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 yay. That is so cute. Should I try it on? Should I try it on? Yes, I should try it on. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to try it on. There it is. I love it. Ah, I love it. I absolutely love this. It's so neat. I mean, you just take it off, put it on, da-da-da, no clasps, boop, 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 boop. Don't have to worry about anything being clasps or falling off. Oh, I love open collars, and I love this dangle. And I love that I can turn it any way I want. I can go over there. I can go over there. I can take it all the way up here if I want to. I can bring it down to the front. Can't see what I'm doing. Just have it hang here. I can bring it to the other side. This is so neat. I absolutely love it. Anyway, that is it. It's so easy to do. I mean, you can just figure out what beads you want to use. You can use a bead board. This was so simple. It was very repetitive. I knew I was going to do black color, black color, black color. It was just a matter of how many black ones I wanted to use or how many of the different colors I wanted to use. I had also drawn up a design where I did just, I don't know if you can see it, one of the black rondelles and a red, and one I didn't have an orange. I didn't have a yellow pin, so I used orange instead. So black, red, black, orange, black, green, and just did it all colors. But I wanted something that was a little more subdued, with just pops of color all the way around. And I think it came out beautifully. I mean, it looks almost exactly like this terribly rough drawing that I made. I'm telling you, I am not an artist in that way. But anyway, it came out. This is one of the times that it actually, the finished item looks like the picture that was in my head. If you can see what's in my head, it's just like a jumble of patterns. I have so many things that I want to do. So anyway, that's our Juneteenth tutorial, our tutorial for a piece of jewelry that is significant to Juneteenth. You can call it something for Black History Month. You can keep it for that. It's not like you have to wear it once and get rid of it. You can wear it all year round because it's so pretty and so versatile, and it still makes a statement. And that's one of the things that I like more than anything. And I love the ease with which this is made. Now, you can do the dangles any way you want. You can make them this short. You can make them really long. It's entirely up to you. It's an open canvas as far as what you can do. So have fun with this. Those of you who get a kit will get a whole plethora of wooden beads. I'm going to throw in some other colors other than the red, yellow, green, and green, along with the black discs. I'm going to stay with those. And then you can make those colors any way you want, because there's a lot of other colors that are significant to Africa that you can add in and incorporate into your piece. And it just gives you a little more versatility as far as how you want to design it. You're also going to get you're going to get two types of the beads. You're going to get the rectangle shaped ones and the oval shaped ones. You're also going to get the little discs, the little black rondelle discs, and you're going to get some trade beads. Now, the little tiny trade beads, I know people hate them, but that's where your history is. The trade beads are one of the most important things that you can use. So if you can stand to use little tiny beads that are about the size of the largest seed beads that you can get, please use them. It's really neat, and the history of them is really fantastic. And I get them from Africa direct, or wherever I can get them. If I can find somebody, and I have found a couple of people who have a direct line to some place that I can get them in Africa. My brother's there now, yay! So if I can get them directly from Africa, I am a happy camper. If I can do something to help the people that are there, support their families, I am very happy. So anyway, so much, enough of me rambling. You'll be getting wooden beads, 3 types: rondelle discs, rectangle, and oval. You'll get trade beads. You'll get wire in order to make your links. You'll also get, what else do we need for you? And that's it. Oh, memory wire, the main component. So you'll get the necklace memory wire, you'll get all of your beads that you need to put your piece together. And I hope you'll do it. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you'll show me what you make, because I'm really curious to see how other people interpret this particular piece that I love so much. So please, if you get a chance, post it on our Facebook page. The library Facebook page. We still have the contest going where you can win a bead design board if you win the drawing. So get your kits. If you don't want to use a kit but want to use your own beads, that's fine too. But post it on the library Facebook page in conjunction with this piece, if this is what you're making, or send it to my email address, which is jewelry, Jewlry. I should write this down. Jewlry, Gin, Gin. So Jewelrygin at gmail.com. Or you can post it on the DeKalb County Library Facebook page under the announcement of this tutorial. Okay, I want to see them. Please, 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 please. And I want to see you entered in this contest. So until we have another tutorial, have a great week. Enjoy your weekend wherever you are in your week. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, and enjoy Juneteenth. Okay? Bye-bye.